get done, the thing may not flow, but I'm learning how to build. I'm learning how to build a better world.
So hello everybody. Welcome to the Red Clay Music Foundry. Thank you so much for coming out this evening. I really, really, really appreciate it, and so does Shawnee. You guys are the brave ones, and hot domati, I get my second shot this coming Wednesday. I am so excited. I can't wait. I've never been so excited about a medical procedure in my whole life. My doctor told me when I was going to make sure I didn't have any more children after we had had a bunch of them, that, it'd be painless and simple and it'd be straightforward and there'd be no problem. And that sumbitch lied to me. It hurt and it hurt. It hurt for like 3 weeks. And I was not looking forward to that. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. Hey, thank you all so much for coming. We really appreciate it. And thank you for adhering to all the little guidelines that we have to do. I know they're crazy somewhat in some people's minds, but you know what? If it gets us through and gets us back to normal, well then, by God, let's just all do it and get there as quick as we can. That's what I'm saying. So once you're in your seat, you're welcome to take your mask off if you're comfortable with doing that. This is the rule. When you're sitting in your seat, as long as you're this far away from anybody that's not in your party, then you are perfectly okay. Just don't do that too much or you'll get dizzy and I'd have to clean up some messes probably. So don't do that. But if you do get up to go to the restroom or to the bar, which is strongly encouraged, then you have to put your mask back on, please. To walk into the lobby and to go to the restrooms and to go to the bar, mask on. In seats, mask off. And this is a great time right now to say hello to you folks watching on YouTube at EOP Live and on Shawn's Facebook Space Place and on our Facebook Face Place. And welcome to all y'all. We're glad you're there. And if you will notice, there's a little block at the top of your screen there that says PayPal tip jar. And it's not going to piss off anybody on the stage if you just empty your pockets this evening. That'll be a good thing to do. It is Shawnee's birthday weekend, and we discussed earlier this afternoon that a real strong tipping crowd would be very appropriate for a birthday crowd. So thank you in advance for doing that. I appreciate you being there. We stream all our shows right now on that EOP Live YouTube channel, and there's about 6,000 or 7,000 songs there that you can go and watch and just listen. And there's some great songs and some great performances, and get all you feel, and it's free. Doesn't cost anything. So please consider that and join our subscription or whatever it's called, and just do that. That's what you should do. But you folks in the room, I can't tell you how important you are to us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I've only known Shawnee for just a little while, and I got to tell you, for me, he's a giant. He's one of my giants. He's a great performer. He's a great songwriter. He's a great singer, and he's a great guy. He's a good friend, and I cherish that relationship, and I cherish him, and I'm so glad he had another birthday, and I'm so glad he's going to celebrate it here tonight and tomorrow night. And right now, what I need y'all to do is sound like you're about 1,000 people and give a nice welcome to Shawn Mullins.
Thanks, Eddie. How you guys doing? All right, Shalom, I'm plugging this thing in, okay? Don't hurt anybody. I know it goes boom if he's not ready, but he's always ready. Well, thanks for joining me and Eddie, and I love playing his venue. This is a wonderful place, home to me, and thank you guys for showing up to the live show tonight. I'm glad you're all here. Yeah, it's good to see you. And thanks for tuning in if you're at home. I know, crazy times right now, so thanks for tuning in. We appreciate you very much. Start off with this one. This one kind of, I guess you could say it starts on a tiny stage in a little, maybe a little bar in some little town somewhere. It doesn't really matter where. And when I think of this song and the character who's actually singing it, I think of a lot of old friends of mine, people that are, they're still plugging away at it. That's what you got to do. If you love what you do, you just keep on going. And anyway, it starts on this tiny little shag carpet stage, and it works its way out into the bar and then into the town, and then eventually into the cosmos. It's called The Great Unknown, and I guess in a way it's where we are right now. We're in the great unknown, aren't we? It's Friday night, and I'm back again with my old guitar and my trusty grin. And I best you don't come in here sign tattooed on this heart of mine. From a dirty brown shag carpet stage, I sing my song and I pace the cage, stuck up here in the twilight zone, and staring out into the great unknown. There's an old Hank Williams figurine hanging by a guitar string from the pull chain of the Pabst Blue Ribbon sign, with a clock that stopped on 9:30. Yeah, the time ain't changed round here in years, y'all. It's the same sad stories, same old tears. There ain't nobody wants to be alone out here in the great unknown. You can find a stool there at the bar. It's designed to take you nowhere far. They got a mirror back behind the whiskey shelves, where we don't dare look back at ourselves. And just past the men's room down the hall, barely hanging there on a plaster wall, a faded sticker on the old payphone says, "Welcome to the great unknown." What's out beyond the yonder star? It's all up in there where you are. By some cosmic wind, we're blown out into the great unknown. Yeah, hopes and dreams and ash and dust. It all seems to either rot or rust. Souls wrapped up in flesh and bone, heartbeats in the great unknown. Well, it's Friday night, and I'm back again. Thank you. Oh, yeah. I love that one. I wrote that one with Chuck Cannon and Christina Alden Dyfer, who's a wonderful poet. And that song started from one of her poems, actually. She had to leave a little early, but we got about half of it done before she had to leave, and then Chuck and I finished it up with one of our all-night writing sessions. Chuck likes to get going. He likes to start about 1 a.m. And the thing is I get up so early that it's really hard to keep up, once you. But I always, sometimes when you're in that weird sleepy state, some cool stuff can come out. Yes, he did. Yeah. I just want to light you up, baby, like a fire. I just want to turn you on and take you high. Everybody's got a flat screen. Everybody's gotta be seen. Everybody wanna be famous. Ain't nobody gonna blame us. Everybody wants the real deal. Everybody wants to cop a good feel. Everybody want more money. Everybody wants a taste of your honey. I just want to light you up, like a fire. I just want to turn you on, and take you high. Everybody wants to pick your guitar, and everybody wanna ride in that fast car. Everybody wants a puff of your pipe dream. Everybody wanna lick at your ice cream. Yeah, the preachers wanna tell you how to live right. Your mama and your daddy got you uptight. Your lover gonna go and pick another fight. I just wanna keep you up all night. I just want to light you up, like a fire. I just want to turn you on, and take you higher. this old world, it can bring you down and turn your smile into a frown, break your heart and make you sad, drive you stark, raving mad. But I just want to light you up, light you up like a fire. I just want to turn you on, turn you on and take you higher. I just want to light you up like a fire. I just want to turn you on and take you high. Thank you. Thank you. That one goes out to my lovely wife. Amy. Yeah. I'll try not to be too tired later. Just so you know my intentions. Oh, Doggy's here. Yeah, Daisy May's, she's side stage, and we got her toenails clipped so she wasn't gonna be, so she wouldn't be so loud. Because last time I think we could hear her clicking and clacking around. Yeah. Well, he was from a small town in northern Mississippi. And she was raised on the Puget Sound, a third-generation hippie. Fate would take them to L.A. County, get them stuck in a traffic jam, an El Camino, and a red Trans Am. Her stereo was blaring Bob Dylan, the bootleg sessions, and all the times they are changing made a pretty good impression. And she looked over and caught him smiling under a California setting sun. Ah, they fell in love on the 101. California, California, California dreams come true. That in crowd, oh, they got off on the rock and roll. And the cocaine's free and the music's loud. Backstage at the Go-Go, they got the house in Topanga Canyon. Oh, they partied at the Viper Room, blending in to the neon gloom. California, California, California dreams come true. Oh, yes, they do. the Sunset Strip, just trying so hard to be so hip. Manhattan Beach to Malibu, you know it's all about the ocean view. And who you know in Hollywood, it's cutthroat, baby, but it's understood. Champagne, Kool-Aid, drink it down. You're the toast of Tinseltown. California, California, California dream come true. Well, you can dream you want to, baby. California, California, California dreams come true. Yes, they do. Thank you. Thanks a lot, folks. I appreciate you. So how you guys doing? You doing good? Hanging in there, yeah? A lot of, Amy and I have been doing a lot of, we've been watching a lot of Netflix and that kind of thing when we're not doing other things. I imagine it's that way for you guys. We recently started watching the show 24 again, and it's been so, I watched it when it first came out, and it's ridiculous. That show's ridiculous. There's no possible way that guy's doing all that stuff, but it's a good show, man. It's a good show. It'll keep you on your toes, too. Yeah. That might, yeah. Well, and one thing about 24 is if you binge watch it, it's even more, it's even more unbelievable, But it used to be, I guess, once a week, back when it came out. And what we're doing is we'll watch 3 or 4 episodes in a row, and it's like, no way. Well, it's 3 a.m. and the snakes have moved in. I'm playing for drunks and me. But the beer is cold and the memory's old. The lights are so bright I can't see. And lonesome, I know you too well. You ring in my ears just like a bell. And you're hollow like a dark, empty well. Lonesome, I know you too well. still. Sometimes it spins like a wheel whenever I see her around. Oh, but she don't know, and I'll never show. There's too many eyes in this town. And Lord, son, I know you too well. You ring in my ears just like a bell. And you're hollow like a dark, empty well. Lonesome, I know you. Oh, lonesome, I know you too well. Well, it's 3 a.m. and the snakes have moved in. Thank you. So I do this weekly live stream, you know, out of the house, and we got a chance to do a few of them here, 5 actually, in the month of January, right here at the Red Clay. Eddie Owen Presents, which was a lot of fun. And we do them on Sunday nights. And so, and every Sunday I have this great sponsor that's here in the Atlanta area. They're actually in Kennesaw. And it's the guys who print up my merchandise, my t-shirts and stuff, but they also do this, hey, there you go. They also do this great concert series, believe it or not. The same guy puts on a concert series in the basement of his house. And imagine Wayne's World, but so much better, you know, as far as, you know, the sound quality and the look of it. And so that's what he's going for, is this wonderful, and he's brought in Collective Soul and Driving and Crying, and you know, Daryl Scott is one of my favorites. And it's a great concert series. It's called Live at the Print Shop. They're my weekly sponsor, so I wanted to give them a quick plug. And y'all check that out on YouTube, subscribe, and you will not be disappointed. Check it out, Live at the Print Shop. Back in the old days, it would be Martha White Flour or something, right? King Biscuit Flour Hour, right? Now it'd have to be some kind of gluten-free flour. All right, so this is one of the first tunes I ever wrote. I wrote it with my friend Jay Drummons, and shortly after we wrote this, maybe a year or two after we wrote this, we were both at North Georgia at the time, going to school, and Jay started to really develop as a country music, local country music star. So he ended up moving to Nashville and giving that whole thing a shot, you know. And it ain't easy, you know. Nashville's like one of those deals where it can, you know, it can chew you up and spit you out. And I don't think it did that with Jay. And I think after 4 or 5 years of plugging away as a songwriter, he decided it wasn't really what he wanted. And but he's in Cashiers, North Carolina now, and he owns a masonry company and does really well. And but we wrote this tune together. He's a hell of a songwriter, a real good singer too. Eddie knows him from back in the old days. He used to play Eddie's Attic, and with his band. Anyway, we wrote this on the banks of the Chestatee River, and we finished it up at Farmer Brown's farmhouse where I was renting at the time. Biggest rat I ever saw was in Farmer Brown's farmhouse in the kitchen. I didn't know what to do with that. That thing was so big, it looked like a possum. And my buddy Jimbo had a boa constrictor. And I called Jimbo up and he said, yeah, I'll be right over there with a live trap. So that poor rat. But first time I ever knew about mustard greens was Farmer Brown too. He came up to the house with what he called a poke, but it was a big grocery sack, and it was filled with what looked like turnip greens. And he said, "You like mustard?" And I didn't know. I'd been raised in Atlanta, but I knew turnip greens, collard greens, you know. But I didn't know about mustard greens. I don't know why. I just didn't know about them. And I thought he meant mustard, like, you know, like your French's, or you know, Grey Poupon or something. And I was like, yeah, I like mustard. Hands me that big sack, you know, of mustard greens. And you know, they're really spicy if you've never had them before. They definitely have a very hot kind of flavor. I think I ate maybe one serving, and that was about it. I hated to let him know I really didn't actually like mustard greens. I imagine they're good for you. Well, Joshua was an old man, his beard like mountain snow. And when I was a boy, we'd have jam sessions. I'd sneak off to old Sharp Top with my guitar. I would go when I should have been at school learning my lessons. He'd sip a little moonshine, I'd smoke a corncob pipe. We'd pick all day until my fingers bled. Right around supper time, I'd run home in the night, just in time to get a whipping from my dad. My friend Josh would tell me, he say, son, picking won't pay the rent. So I set out to prove him wrong in time. I don't guess I can recall all the hours that I spent just beating on this old flat top of mine. Me and my friend Josh, Lord, we must have played them all. I got where I could put the old man to shame, or so I thought. I don't guess it ever seemed to bother him at all. He still loved to pick 'em just the same. Whoa, way back when he was 65 and I was 10, and I will never be as free again. Whoa, way back when. Well, summer flew by quickly, and Josh and I spent our time writing words to songs, memories from his past. He'd tell me about the way it was, and I'd try to find the perfect rhyme. I still can't believe how we wrote our songs so fast. And I never knew an old man be so full of life. Love we had was so hard to explain. And I remember how the tears fell when he spoke of his late wife. I'd give him my 6th string to ease his pain. Oh, way back when. Said he was 65 and I was 10. And I will never be as free again. I knocked on his cabin door. I knocked and knocked and knocked, but Joshua never came. And I still remember how he lay there on the floor. And I went home crying in the rain. He was 65, only 65. And I will never find a friend like him again. Oh, way back when. Oh, way back when. Oh, way back when. Thank you. Down in Australia, you know, cheers is a big thing, as it is in the UK or whatever. But they go, cheers, big ears. And then the person goes, same goes, big nose. So it's one of their little things. I love Australia. I've been down there a few times over the years. I wish I could get back down there. I guess maybe when this is all over with the COVID thing, they'll let me back down there. Yeah. Sometimes these old guitars will require just a tiny bit of tuning here. There we go. Right? We all do. I got a couple of birthday cards early, one from my brother and then another from a friend of mine in Seattle. And his was pretty good. It had a cartoon of a man and a woman on the front. They were obviously drawn to be in their senior citizens, and the man was saying, my doctor says I have reptile dysfunction. And then she says, her little bubble says, I didn't know you had a snake. Yeah. Well, I met him on the cliffs of Twin Rocks, Oregon. He was sitting on his bedroll looking just like Richard Brodigan, and I thought he was an old man. Well, I'm 37. He said he'd been riding trains for 15 years and drawing portraits to keep his belly full of beers. It looked to me like he died and missed a plane to heaven. But he's a nice old guy for a younger man. He had a bottle of Mad Dog he held tightly in his hand. He waved it around a lot, trying to make his point. And I listened as he told his tales of wine and women, county jails. And we finished off that bottle and smoked a half a joint. He said, I came here to watch the sun disappear into the ocean. It's been years since I smelled the salty sea. And he turned his bottle up and down. He saw me lost and he saw me found. And he said, I don't know what I've been looking for. maybe me. Well, I told him I too had been traveling around, just living out of my van from town to town, playing for tips and whatever records I could move. I said, I don't reckon I'll be making it big, man. It's hard to get rich off a tour coffee house gig. He said, yeah, buddy, but ain't it a blessing? Do what you want to do. Yeah, I told him, yes, I pulled out to watch the sun and disappear into the ocean. It's been years since I smelled the salty sea. We turned another bottle up and down. He saw me lost and he saw me found. And I said, I don't know what I've been looking for. Maybe me. I said, it's getting kind of late. I better be heading down this interstate. Can I give you a lift? I'm headed to San Francisco Bay. He said, nope, I think I'm gonna sit right here and rest. Maybe wait on the Tokyo, Montana Express. I might just lay here and dream my life away. Sit right here and watch the sun disappear into the ocean. It's been years, my Lord, now. It's been years. I'm gonna turn my bottle up and down. You can see me lost. You can see me found. Well, I met him on the cliffs of Twin Rocks, Oregon. He was sitting on that bedroll looking just like Richard Brodigan. Just like him. Thank you. I love this one. A couple of friends of mine wrote this tune, and it's you know, I have a main hero in songwriting, a lot of heroes really, but one in particular, Christofferson, is kind of the guy that I grew up listening to and wanting to emulate as a songwriter. You know, not there yet. I'm always gonna be kind of pushing toward those first several records of his, and I just think there was a certain genius in those records, but he's continued, of course, to write great songs and be in not so great movies mostly, but he sure can drive a truck. He once told me when I was reading for some films years ago, and I told him that my agent in Atlanta had gotten a call from the casting director of the film I had just read for, And she basically said, look, Shawn's got something for sure. He could probably act, but he needs to get some lessons on how to audition. That's what he doesn't know how to do, you know. He doesn't have any experience with that. And I was telling Chris this one time when I was visiting him in Hawaii, and we were watching his son wrestle during a high school wrestling match. And I remember he said, how's that acting thing going? And I told him that. And he just turned to me and he goes, that ain't a real good sign, man. Yeah. But anyway, his big hero, one of them anyway, I found out that he was also a Lou Reed, massive Lou Reed fan, like almost like, which I was actually surprised. I don't know why I was surprised. But I was like, well, that's interesting. You know, that's kind of different. But just, you know, huge Lou Reed fan. And, of course, Johnny Cash was a massive influence on him. He had gone to see Johnny Cash early when he was still in the Army. And his aunt had taken him to Nashville to see a Johnny Cash concert. And it kind of changed his thing. He was like, okay, I want to get out of the Army. I want to do that, you know. And so this song is about his hero, Johnny Cash. It's about the ghost of Johnny Cash. And Phil Madeira, a great songwriter. He also plays in Emmylou Harris's band. He's a wonderful instrumentalist and singer-songwriter as well. But he plays mostly B3 organ in Emmylou's band, I believe. And he had this dream. And the dream is pretty much exactly how the song goes. And he emailed the first couple of verses to Chuck Cannon, and they did it all by email. Chuck emailed him the third verse, you know, and they went back and forth until the song was done. It's called The Ghost of Johnny Cash. Ooh, I'm going to do it in a little bit different key. Well, I woke up in a cold sweat from a dream at 3 a.m. I was drifting on the sea of shadows. The rain was whipping in the wind. I saw a man dressed all in black reach out and take the helm. And he charted us a course out into the spirit realm. Well, I can taste the salt and feel the blisters on my hands as I'm pulling at the oars, rowing on to glory land, and sitting in the stern singing hymns and talking trash is my broken guardian angel, the ghost of Johnny Cash. Well, Johnny's quoting from the Bible while I'm trying to steer this leaky craft. His familiar voice reminds me I'm a man who's cut in half. His tarnished halo slips and shines as the raging billows crash. And I'm riding out the deluge with the ghost of Johnny Cash. Some sinners need their saints to be survivors of the fall. 'Cause when you're down here on your knees, most angels look too tall. So I'll just live this life out, dust to dust and ash to ash. my guide from the other side, the ghost of Johnny Cash. We gotta stand for something, 'cause when you're gone, you're gone. The devil lost a lot of souls when Johnny put that black suit on. And he's still flipping off the Pharisees and laughing at old Scratch, while he haunts the halls of heaven, the ghost of Johnny Cash. Hey, some sinners need their saints to be survivors of the fall. Oh, when you're down here on your knees, most angels look too tall. Oh, I just live this life out, dust to dust and ash to ash, with my guide from the other side, the ghost of Johnny Cash. Yeah, I've just lived this life out, dust to dust and ash to ash, until I'm raising hell in heaven with the ghost of Johnny Cash. All right. Isn't that a great one? I love that. I love the lyric of that. It's so good. Chuck told me a funny story. Rodney Crowell, who's obviously an amazing singer-songwriter and producer as well. And Rodney is, as Chuck is, and I've become more inclined to try to do what you call hard rhyming in songs. I didn't start off that way, but it seems that over the years, if you look at the classic songs, you know, the American Songbook and all these, not necessarily in rock and roll, but kind of in a lot of the songs that remain year after year after year after year, that a lot of them have these perfect hard rhymes. And not all of them, but a lot of them do. And Rodney's a real stickler for this stuff. Mac Davis is another one that he's like hard rhyme always, you know. And but Rodney listened to Chuck's recording of The Ghost of Johnny Cash, which was really wonderful years ago. And he said, man, but you didn't do hard rhymes all the way through. He said, you know, that fourth verse, you know, you had lightning flash right there in front of you. And I thought that was great. Instead of laughing at old Scratch, which is also a great line. But Rodney was like, nah, it's got to be a hard rhyme. You need lightning flash or whatever, you know. I'll do another one that I didn't write, and I'll get back to some that I did here. We doing okay on time? All right. Sometimes I think about, I even dreamt this the other night, that I was at someone's show, and I think it was mine. It's pretty weird. And I was bored out of my mind. And I was like, my God, do I have to sit through this, you know? But, you know, I appreciate you guys. You get up if you need to, do your thing, stretch your legs, and powder your nose, whatever you I'll do one more here that I love so much. by Jean Ritchie. She was a wonderful songwriter back in the Tin Pan Alley days. She was a real coal miner's daughter, like Loretta Lynn was, and she wrote a lot of real stuff that I just love. And she used to do gigs with people like Pete Seeger and Woody Guthrie. And anyway, she's not well known, unfortunately. I think she should be. And this is just one of the greatest coal mining songs ever written, I believe. My favorite coal mining song, though, is definitely from Daryl Scott, and that would be "You'll Never Leave Heartland Alive." But I don't know if I can quite do that one justice. And that one's based on a true story about his family and their history. All right, little Jean Ritchie for you. This one's called the L&N, Don't Stop Here Anymore. First heard this on a Johnny Cash record when I was a kid. My dad had stolen the record from Rich's department store. When I was a curly-headed baby, my daddy set me down on his knee. He said, son, you go to school and you learn your letters. Don't you be no dusty miner boy like me. I was born and raised at the mouth of the Hazard Holler, where the coal carts rolled and rumbled past my door. Yeah, but now they stand in a rusty row all empty, 'cause the L&N don't stop here anymore. Well, I used to think my daddy was a black man. He had script enough to buy the whole company store. Oh, but now he goes to town with empty pockets. Lord, his face is white as the February snow. I was born and raised at the mouth of the Hazard Holler, where the coal carts rolled and rumbled past my door. Up and now they stand in a rusty row all empty, 'cause the L&N don't stop here anymore. Yeah, yeah. Last night I dreamed I went down to the office to give my payday like I done before. Them old kudzu vines is growing right up through the doorway. And there was leaves and grass growing right up through the floor. I was born and raised in the mouth of the Hazard Holler, where the coal carts rolled and rumbled past my door. Oh, but now they stand in a rusty row, all empty, 'cause the L&N don't stop here anymore. No, the L&N don't stop here anymore. Of the Hazard Holler, where the coal carts rolled and rumbled past my door. Oh, but now they stand in a rusty row all empty, 'cause the L&N don't stop here anymore. No, the L&N don't stop here anymore. No, the L&N don't stop. All right. Isn't that a good one? I love that. I love that song. I know, right? I know, I'm fine. I really am. I got to remember to breathe. That's the thing. Because when I'm outside or around people, a lot of times you got the mask on, the whole thing, and you're not really breathing. And I got to remember. It's an important thing. Do check out Eddie Owen Presents on YouTube. There's some great, just miles and miles and miles of wonderful concerts. I'm sure there's a few of mine on there, but you always hear it when you first come into the show. There, whatever show you're attending here, he's playing past shows, and it always sounds great. Thanks to Shalom up there, and yeah. And if you're here, it always looks as good as it possibly can, depending on the artist, right? Thanks to Corey. Thank you so much for doing lights tonight, brother. I'll share with you my first being my birthday weekend. My birthday's actually on Monday, and I'll be, I think, 54. I actually didn't know. The last couple of days, I couldn't remember if it was 53 or 54. I'm pretty sure it's 54. Which is fine, I'm glad to be here, that's for sure. And I started thinking about my life, and how music was always such a big part of it. My grandfather was a big band musician, and he had this Saturday night gig at the Egyptian Ballroom at the Fox Theater for like 30 years straight or something. It was crazy. He played there every Saturday or maybe every Friday and Saturday. And so he was a Shriner and a Mason and a Shriner, and he was. I went to the rehearsal one time at the big Shriner's Temple of the concert band. I remember I was about 4 or 5 years old, and I was infatuated with the sound of all that. Just sitting next to him, he played he was a bass guy, so he played all kinds of bass instruments. And in the concert band, he played bass horns, so he had tuba and he had a miraphone, a German 5-valve horn, different things. And then in big band music, he played, of course, the upright bass. And then later he took on electric bass. In the early 70s, he bought himself a short-scaled Fender Mustang bass, and then later bought a precision bass. He learned how to do that, and he was a cool cat. He used to even call people cat, He was from that era of that jazz big band. He was like, oh, he's a good cat, he's a good cat. He even played in polka bands and stuff, but he did all kinds of stuff. One time, though, I remember he took me to the Shrine Temple and that was the only time I think I got to go in there, and I was really young. And I remember sitting next to him, and then Bill Fry, who was the drummer, was right on the other side. And Bill Fry was a fantastic drummer. And of course, in the concert band, he had a snare drum and he had some percussion. So he wasn't playing a kit, but I remember that was the first thing I really got into, was the rhythm of those drums and the sound of it all. And I noticed that all those cats, they had a little cooler. Each one of them had their own cooler with them, and including my grandfather. And I remember asking him what that was about, and he goes, "Oh no, we have to stay. We have to drink plenty so that we, He was trying to explain that they needed water, but they weren't drinking water at all. Yeah, he was a cool old cat, man. He really was. Tom Brown. My brother, years later, would take me to my first rock concerts ever. The first being ELO. Yeah. So talking about lights, it was quite something. They had a flying saucer for a stage, a real one, and it really did seem like a real one. It was this massive, like, flying disc that opened up, with all these lights, and it was like, incredible, and I loved that stuff. And then he took me. This was at the Omni, of course, back before the Phillips Arena, same shell of the building, I guess. And then he took me over to Six Flags before they built an amphitheater there, and we saw Mother's Finest, which changed my life. That changed my life. I was like, oh man, this is the deal right here. And this is before they had an amphitheater, so it was just it was in this empty parking lot behind the Scream Machine. And there was like 5,000, just long hairs in there. And, it's the first time I ever smelled dope, and I remember this poor girl got her hair caught on fire because people were doing the lighters. And back then there was a lot of hairspray going on too. But he took me to Bad Company and the Producers and just great local bands too, like the Producers and Mother's Finest. But so my brother had a lot to do with my music, and he also taught me to play guitar. When I was about 11, he showed me a few chords and showed me how to play Freebird and Stairway to Heaven, and a couple of other things, and I kind of developed from there on guitar, and so thanks to him. And now my grandmother, not Pappy's wife, but on the other side, my dad's mom, she came from the mountains of North Carolina, or mountains of Georgia, I should say, almost to North Carolina. And her family was all up there, and she left that area and came down to Atlanta when she was about 14, I believe. She did not want to be a sharecropper's wife, and so she headed toward the city. And this song originally started when I saw a cotton field up that way, and I'd never seen cotton bloom before. Almost looked like poppy fields or something. It was different than I'd seen it in harvest time before when it's white, but I'd never seen the flowers. And this melody came to me, and then as some rioting started there shortly after, related to police shootings, different things like that. And I'm not a real political person in my music. I never have been, really. There's kind of this feeling of I want everyone to love one another and us get along and move forward. And we may need aliens for that. I don't know. But the Greys might help us. I don't know. But as that stuff was happening, the melody of this song and my remembering my grandmother and those who had already left me in my family that had passed away, my mom, my dad, my grandma, all my grandparents, basically. The melody developed, and then Chuck Cannon and I wrote the lyrics of this, kind of with the idea of America in mind, and the African Americans' plight, basically, from when they got here to where we are now, roughly. So again, it's not a political song. It's not meant to be. It's definitely. I think when I think back on it now, we called it Ferguson because Ferguson was the thing that was happening right at the moment. But I would have liked to have called it Same Shade of Red, and which it's about blood, really. It's about our blood and how we're all the same in the end. All of ye fallen fathers and mothers, I hear you calling. deep in your graves. Songs about Jesus, songs about freedom, shackles and crosses, and the way blood behaves. Sailed the great ocean, sold down the river, white fields of cotton, green fields of cane, the sweat from their bodies, the tears of their children, washed in the blood, and the promised land rain. Sad hallelujah, all the angels did sing. For promises buried in fields that lay fallow, the bell is too broken to let freedom ring. The dreams of the dreamers, all misbegotten, 'cause mama's still crying for the dying and dead, and the war rages on, and the whole thing is rotten, and the blood we all bleed is the same shade of red. Thank you. All right. Lighten it up a little bit with a song about the end of the world coming. Yeah, this song made more sense about a year ago. It started to go, oh, okay, well, all right. Yeah, right. So I wrote this with Tom Ryan Panda. So you guys know him as Panda. And he's also been called the Filipino Burt Reynolds, and I love that guy. But we stayed up all night one time. We thought it'd be funny to write a song about doomsday preppers and the zombie apocalypse and that kind of thing. And like I said, once COVID hit, it became something else. But you can read it in the papers, you can watch it on the news. Everybody's got the pre-apocalyptic blues. You better be ready when the shit goes down. Well, you better head Costco, get you a buggy full of rice and beans. A year's supply of 2-ply for your composting latrine. So you'll be ready when the shit goes down. Don't hesitate, don't procrastinate, or you'll be running scared. There ain't no second chances for the bravery impaired. Cause you know there's a couple of commies hiding underneath your bed. And the zombie's gonna eat up all the brains in your head. I got a Rambo knife with a compass on it and a ballistic bug-out bag. I got an AK-47, about 100 extra mags. I'm gonna be ready when the shit goes down. Well, now, sis, and I counted about a billion red Chinese. You say you ain't worried, and I say, hunky please, you better be ready when the shit goes down. By my jacuzzi, there's an Uzi and an RPG. Got a Stinger missile mounted on my wife's SUV. They won't get to me, no matter who they are. I got landmines buried all over my yard. Cause I read it in the papers, y'all. I watched it on the news. Now I got the cryptic, pre-apocalyptic blues. I'm gonna be ready, ready when the shit goes down. Will you be ready when the shit goes down? Oh, no. Thank you. Well, maybe it will be one day. Usually it's after you're dead and gone that they make your music standards, but that'd be cool. I like it. Yeah. So this has been a lot of people's wedding song, I've heard anyway. I've even sung it at a couple of people's weddings, but I've had many people come up and say, man, you know, this song, we walk down the aisle to this tune. And I always get a kick out of that and think that's really cool. And I also one time had someone come up to me and say, hey, Shawn, my wife and I walked down the aisle to aisle B. And they thought I was Edwin McCain. And so I thought that was great, and I was like, well, thank you so much. And so the next time I see Edwin, and Edwin's so great, he's one of the funniest people I've ever met. I tell Edwin that, and he was like, really, man? He goes, it happened to us too. He goes, man, while your song was climbing up the charts, people were coming to my concerts and requesting, they would yell for Rockabye at my concerts. He said one time after the show, I had a little get-together and a signing thing, and a lady came up and she goes, I'm really sorry that you didn't play Rockabye tonight. And Edwin said, well, I'm sorry that you bought the wrong concert ticket. He said, but it got so bad we just learned it and started playing it. Yeah. Edwin's so good, man. But it happened in Woodstock just a few weeks ago, right after the show. I walked backstage and there were a few people back there, and a guy goes, hey man, aren't you from South Carolina? And I'm like, no, I'm from here in Georgia, and I'm from Decatur, Georgia. And he goes, well, don't you have like a boat show or something on the Discovery Channel? And I'm like, no, man, that's Edwin McCain, that's not me. So it's a thing. And he was like, this guy felt really bad. And I was like, don't feel bad, it's a thing. It's like, blonde white guy from the South with an acoustic guitar, as if there weren't enough of us. We had we both had some stuff going on at the same time, It was pretty great. Anyway, this is his song is that a lot of people have gotten married to and used anyway at their weddings is I'll Be, and I'm not going to do that one for you. I don't really have the range. I don't have the range for it, but he has such a wonderful tenor voice. But I'm going to do this one, and I hope you like it. Show. I know I was joking with Daisy about that 125, 30 years ago, she would have definitely been part of the show just to keep, like while I'm tuning, the dog comes out and, right? I've been on the road too long, and I've been stuck inside a song. Our love has been through rougher weather. But our passion's like a rose. The seasons tell it how it grows. Not much compares to the times we've shared together. 'Cause love heals everything. We're no exception to that rule. You mean everything to me. So if there's anything at all you got to do is call. You know that I would drive 10,000 miles just to show you that I care, just to kiss your honey hair, to pull you close, to hold you like a child. 'Cause love heals everything. We're Thank you. Yeah. Strange. Songs, earlier I did a song that a friend of mine dreamt, and I've dreamt a couple of songs. One was Light You Up. I dreamt the chorus of that song. I didn't really dream it. I just woke up with it in my head, which I wasn't really sure where it came from, and I was sure that I had stolen it from someone. And I remember I saw an interview not too long ago where Paul McCartney was talking about the same thing with Yesterday, and he had the melody, da da da, ya da 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 da, and he couldn't figure it out. He kept singing just the melody for John Lennon and George Martin and some other people, and they were like, "No, we've never heard it before," And while he was making breakfast, he was, scrambled eggs. Oh, I'm going to have some scrambled eggs. Before he had the lyric, I thought that was amazing. But Light You Up had words with it, and so I was sure that I had ripped it off, and so I started singing it for my friends that were writers and people that would know if I had and be honest with me, and evidently I hadn't stolen it, so that's good. And because a lot of times you can't help but there's only been so many things that have been it's been done, almost all of it. It's really difficult to write an original melody, that's for sure. In Western music, we're dealing with 12 notes, really, 11 if you count the octave, and so there's only so many arrangements of that. I wonder how many there are, how many ways you can arrange that. I'm sure someone's figured that out. But this one I had a dream after it was written, and Chuck Cannon and I wrote this tune together. I love this song, and the night we wrote it, I went up above the studio to the little apartment he has there, and crashed, and I started dreaming that I was a camera operator in an old Bing Crosby movie, and it was one of the when he was a young man, black and white, and I could see everything in black and white, which was really strange. And Bing was singing this song that Chuck and I had written, and I didn't know that he was singing our song. I was just trying to keep up with the camera, and it was really amazing, and it gave me confidence. I remember waking up in the middle of the dream thinking it must be a really good song if Bing Crosby's singing it. Minute Maid orange juice. My stupid heart. You can hear him, right? My stupid heart. Except for the stupid part, right? He wouldn't have ever said stupid. But it can be so cruel. It was really weird and cool at the same time. It was very strange. This, most of us have felt this way before. My stupid heart is what I blame when the arrow flies with perfect aim, and it don't work out like I thought it would. My stupid heart still thinks it could. My stupid heart, it believes the lies the poets tell. Surprise, surprise, a good love goes bad, it falls apart, oh so sad, my stupid heart. My stupid heart is kinda slow. Stupid heart, it plays for keeps through hoops of fire. It bounds and leaps, and it's all for love right from the start. That's how it is, my stupid heart. Thank you. Sharing with us what he knows. His shining eyes are big and blue. And all around him water flows. This world to him is new. This world to him is new. To touch a face, to kiss a smile, new eyes, you see no rays, the essence of a child, the essence. He's born to shimmer, he's born to shine, and he's born to radiate. He's born to live, he's born to love. Let's don't teach him how to hate. True love, it is a rock, the smooth or by a stream. There's no ticking of a clock that truly measures what that means, truly measures what that means. This thing we call our time. I heard a brilliant woman say, she said, you know, it's crazy how I want to try and capture mine. I think I love this woman's way. I think I love this woman's way she shimmers, the way she shines, and the way she radiates. The way she lives, the way she loves, and the way she never hates. Sometimes I think of all this surrounding me. I know it all is being mine, but she kisses me, she wraps herself around me, she gives me love, she gives me time, yeah. time I cannot change. So here's to looking back, way back. You know, I drink a whole bottle of my pride. I toast to change, to keep these demons off my back. Just keep these demons off my back. 'Cause I wanna shimmer, I wanna shine, I want to radiate, I want to live, I wanna love, I wanna try. Thank you. Too kind. Thank you so much. Y'all been so good to me tonight. Thank you. It's been really a pleasure to be here. And yeah, me too. I needed a leg stretch as well. Let's see if I can get a couple more here. I've lost count of the times I've given up on you, but you make such a beautiful wreck, you do. Yeah, there's a tavern on the corner called the Milky Way, and you look so at home there, it makes me afraid. Like all the promises you made, I watched them come and go. You put your keys in the car, but it would not drive. With your hands on the wheel, looking barely alive. Yeah. Hey, I'm still sitting here waiting on the passenger side. You to make up your mind. For you to make up your mind. lost count of the times I've given up on you. But you make such a beautiful wreck, you do. Yeah, you make such a beautiful wreck, you do. You make such a beautiful wreck, you do. At the dark end of this fire, what a beautiful wreck you are. When you go too far, beautiful wreck you are. What a beautiful, such a beautiful wreck you are. What a beautiful, such a beautiful. Yes, you are. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I think 2006 is when we released that. So yeah, we did 250 something shows that year, and then same or roughly the same in 2007. And I look back on it and I don't know why. Not that much. Hundreds of dollars from you. $1.298. No, I love the road. You know, it's a weird kind of love-hate thing after a long time of doing it, and but I love it. I've always kind of felt drawn to travel, and so it's a good thing that I like doing it because I do it. Not these days though. Not too much. I love being home. There is a house down in New Orleans that they call the rising sun, and it's been the ruin of many a poor girl. God, I know I'm one. My mother was a tailor, and she sewed these new blue jeans. And my sweetheart was a gambler, drinking down in New Orleans. Now the only thing that a gambler needs is a suitcase, a set of suitcase, and a trunk. And the only time he's satisfied is when he's on a drunk. Cause he filled his glasses up to the brim, and he passed the cards around. And the only pleasure that they call the rising sun. All right, just 10 more verses. Now it's 1 foot on the platform and the other found a train going back to New Orleans. I'm gonna wear that ball and chain. Down in New Orleans, they call the rising sun, and it's been the ruin of many a poor girl. And God, I know I'm one. Thank you. This one was a request, and Edwin McCain's probably doing it right now. This song has a little story with it. It has a bunch of stories, really, but I can't tell them all tonight. And it's a weird. I will think Leslie Fram, who was the program director of 99X back in the day, and she and Steve Craig made this song. You know, they're the ones that got it on the radio. They're the first ones, and if it hadn't been for them, it would have been probably just on. I don't know. It wouldn't have sold a couple million records. I can tell you that. So I appreciate them very much, because after that, it spread around the country, and after about 10 years, I all of a sudden had my my overnight sensation thing going on. It was very weird, and I was grateful, and I still am. I look back on those days with Columbia Records fondly, and it was like it was playing in the big leagues for 6-7 years. You know, it was crazy. I found myself one time, you know, I was at the American Music Awards. I know the Grammy Awards are coming up this week, I think. I was at the 44th Grammy Awards. And I was up against Sting and Eric Clapton for you know, best male vocal of the year or something. I couldn't even believe. I was like, what in the hell am I doing here? What am I doing here? Very weird. No, I bet they were. Eric Clapton got that one, and which he, of course, you know, it's Eric Clapton. I remember my dad saying, I came back and my dad and mom were living in LJ, and I went up to visit them maybe after, you know, a little while after the Grammys, and they had watched it on TV and everything, and my dad said, and he said, Bud, and he used to call me Bud. He said, Bud, don't feel too bad. it's Eric Clapton. You know, he put an M in there, Clapton. It's Eric Clapton, you know. I said, I don't feel bad, Dad. I couldn't believe I was there. Pretty weird. But I will thank the person who gave me the story. I think she lives in Georgia now. It's been a long time. She used to live in L.A. She grew up out in Hollywood, and she gave me the story. And you know, most of us that write songs, we get our stories from real stuff, you know. And that's one thing I heard Daryl Scott say, that you know, you got to tell the truth. You know, that's how stuff happens for songwriters. And so I started journaling years ago, and after meeting this woman at one of my little tiny shows, less people than this for sure, at a place called Genghis Cohen, which is a Chinese restaurant that I used to play in Hollywood. They actually have a little listening space for music too, and it's for acoustic songwriters to play. So it sounds kind of weird that it's a Chinese place, but it's excellent Chinese food and an acoustic music venue, all rolled into one. And I don't know if it's still around, but you know, like all kinds of people would show up there and play. Joni Mitchell, Jackson Brown, I said Joni Mitchell, Ricky Lee Jones, people like that would come by there and sit in and play some songs. And so this was like the third time I'd played there, and I finally sold it out. And you could get about 30 people in this place, and it was free to get in on top of it, you know. It was, yeah, you paid to get out of there. And they would pass a hat around, and because I didn't want to pay to play, that was how it was. It probably still is in L.A. In the club scene, you have to pay the club owner until you get enough of a following. So you know, if you don't have a draw, you have to pay them to get up on the stage. You know, and I was like, I can't do that. I don't have enough money to do that. So a friend of mine told me about this place. She was like, yeah, you'll do great here, and then you can open for Vonda Shepard, who's a friend of mine, and at the Troubadour. And I got to know Vonda, and I met Martin Sexton that same night, and Martin and I became buddies. And so the LA thing wasn't really my thing, but I was always fortunate to have the right place to play. Anyway, thankful to the real stories of real people that give me these songs. And this one's pretty much true, mostly true. She grew up with the children of the stars, in the Hollywood Hills and the Boulevard. Her parents threw big parties, you know, everyone was there. They hung out with folks like Dennis Hopper and Bob Seger, and Sonny and Cher. She feels safe now in this bar on Fairfax. From the stage I can tell that she can't let go and she can't relax. And just before she hangs her head to cry, I sing to her a lullaby. I sing everything's gonna be alright. Rockabye, rockabye. She still lives with her mom outside the city, down side street about a half a mile. And all her friends tell her that she's so pretty. But she'd be a whole lot prettier, you know, if she'd smile once in a while. But you know, even her smile, it looks just like a frown. She's seen her share of devils in this angel town. And everything's gonna be alright. Rockabye, rockabye. Everything's gonna be alright. Rockabye, rockabye, rockabye. I ain't so sure about this place. It's hard to play a gig in this town, keep a straight face. Seems like everybody's got a plan. It's kind of like Nashville with a tan. Everything's gonna be alright. Rockabye, rockabye. Everything's gonna be alright. Sure, rockabye, rockabye. Everything's gonna be alright. Rockabye, rockabye. Everything's gonna be alright. So rockabye, rockabye. Say bye, bye. Thank y'all so much. Bye, bye. Thank you. Thank you. Y'all sang it in key and everything. That was awesome.